do you feel the same way for you guys? Is this coming out as your favorite shit or?
Yeah, for sure. I really like our old record, Turtle Nipple, and I feel like that was our best record then.
Mm.
Some of the other stuff I grew to be embarrassed about in a way.
Oh,
Just
really?
because, well, we wrote it when we were so young, and like some of my lyrics and things, I'm just like, wow, I've matured so much.
Yeah.
And just like reading them and sometimes, doing them live or singing them, I'm just like, fuck, I just feel wrong doing it almost, where it's just like, I don't know, I just feel like an idiot or something. But I've grown past that just a little bit, just to, accept the time and place that we created those things. But yeah, I do agree that this new stuff is, us at our most mature, but without losing that, kind of like carefree spirit, I guess.
Yeah. I think the songwriting is definitely like top notch, like listening back to and comparing it to the older stuff. But
Like, yeah.
um, that's like, I think for a singer too, because like I write guitar, I can listen back to old riffs and go, oh, that sucked. But like words have so much more meaning. And
Hmm.
so I bet, yeah, like I've never experienced that, like looking back, because I don't really write lyrics, but I can imagine you could cringe a lot harder at yourself with words
Yeah.
over music.
Even these ones, the new ones from this new record, like, I wrote them, 6 months ago. I'm already looking at some of them like, wow, you could have done, like, you could have done better. You're smarter than this. Like, you should have thought about this more. But yeah, I am very proud of them.
uh, like where like do you usually pull inspiration from lyrics?
Um, I like, I love movies. I love film. So, and I write a lot of, films and screenplays and things like that. So
Hmm.
to me, a song is kind of an opportunity to write kind of like a short story or even a short film that could be, compressed into a song.
Yeah.
You can be as visual as you want, as poetic as you want. Um, so yeah, that's mostly where my inspiration comes from. Is just like, okay, I have this idea and this. With this record, it's it's been a kind of like equal parts, that sort of thing, just like writing fictional stories, but also uh reckoning with real life things, which isn't something I did a lot on past records. I wasn't so serious in the past, but there's some pretty serious things on this record, I guess.
Okay. Do you I always prefer, like, if I'm in a certain like mood or like vibe for my writing, and I'm like writing like maybe an EP or whatever, like do you consider the whole thing one piece? Like not necessarily like a whole always a concept album, but like I like to like have everything kind of be together as one piece of art, no matter what it is.
Yeah, definitely. I do, even if it isn't like a through line concept, I do still like to treat everything as somewhat of a concept. So for like this one, it's just like the pain of life,
Hmm.
from beginning to end type thing. And even if it is something as simple as, pain or whatever as a concept, I do still like to treat it like that. It keeps like a certain tone. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, I think like each, whether it's a full length or EP or whatever, each piece of work you do kind of represents that wherever you were in your life at that time,
Hmm.
like however you were feeling. And yeah, I like it to always kind of be like just cohesive like that.
Yeah.
It makes it more special to me instead of just like kind of random ideas.
Hmm.
Um, that Turtle Nipple record, you kind of was like a little bit of a departure from your usual sound, would you
Hmm.
say? And
Yeah.
was that kind of like just starting to mature then, or just wanting to try some new shit, or?
Yeah, it had been a while. Well, not too long. Cause, as you said, that Everything's Watched record is kind of contains a few older songs, so it didn't feel as cohesive for us. So when we were given the opportunity to do another full length, we recorded that one with our friend Sam, who really encouraged us to experiment, and we were very in the mood to experiment ourselves. Because we had been touring with you guys, Number 12, Fear Before, and all of those bands were just like branching out so much in terms of sound, like expansive sound. And we were getting kind of tired of just like blasting and like, I don't know. And I was getting tired of shrieking. Something about that just started to feel old to me. So yeah, it was a very cool situation because we got to live at the studio for like a month and just experiment and kind of almost create some songs on the fly and get to work those out with the producer / engineer. And like overnight, sometimes we just do like mushrooms and create these like soundscapes and then wake up and be like, whoa, that's weird. Like, let's expand on that.
Right.
So that, yeah, it was a mixture of, maturing and just being afforded the time to find the sound that we wanted to. I think that's our most conceptual album, even up until now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've never had the experience of having the time to actually write there, other than like fix a couple parts or transitions that aren't working or things like that. But to have the opportunity to like show up there and kind of relax and like let that atmosphere of the studio kind of guide you and get fucked up too.
Yeah.
But see what comes out. That would be fun.
Yeah. You like watch, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, whoever, they would never, they would write everything in the studio. And they would just record it. And so I think we were trying to emulate that, just sort of like a past process that had never been, because up until then it was all recording studios in garages or houses, or then we finally got that taste of the one in Washington and what that could be. So
right, and it too, like I've always felt like sort of rushed, like you're going to the studio on this date. So you want to get X amount of songs done and you're trying to get them all finished before you get in there. And then you get in there and there's not much time to play around and experiment. It's just get them down. And then after playing them live, like 3 to 6 months later, all the best ideas of how you could have done this or that always come out after playing them for so long. It's always, no matter what, no matter how long you played them before you went in the studio, it's always afterwards. Like all the good shit comes out.
There's got to be a word for that because it's that way with every art, like whether it be an illustration, a movie, a song, an album, like you're always thinking about what could have been, which I think that's a good thing to never be, happy.
True. And
content, I guess.
Art is only abandoned, never finished, right? Is the saying. But I think it's also those little things that you come up with. You couldn't have come up with them until you had time to sit with a finished product for so long. And that's why it happens.
Yeah, that was a great part of this new one as well, is that we got to demo a few of the songs months prior and then just sit on those and pick them apart so that when we did finally get into the studio, we had all kinds of complaints and opinions and ways to fix those songs.
Right. And so how many songs were on this new guy? Was it
12?
12, yeah. Yeah, I listened to it right when you sent it to me, and I listened to it a little bit again today, and it sounds fantastic. I think it's some of your best work, and I'm a fan for sure.
Hell yeah, thank you.
So I have to watch that music video for the second single. I didn't know you dropped one. Are you planning on more videos for this one or?
Yeah, we have uh the next videos will probably come out after the release. Um there is one video that we've been sitting on for a song on there that uh we were like, if we put this out before the album, people are gonna be a little confused or get the wrong idea. Just because the song is so weird.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna put that out later.
Okay. And like, so that back to the video for the first single,
Mhm.
you shot that where? Somewhere in the desert, you said?
Barstow, California.
Barstow. Okay. And was that all like your concept for it?
It was a joint thing between me and Jacob. Yeah.
I loved the blood pouring down on you out of nowhere, like on the bridge of the
Thank
song
you.
or whatever part of the song you call it.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with blood, of course. I'm just obsessed with the look of a human being covered in blood.
It's really cool. And when it comes out of nowhere like that and surprises you, it does its job as far as like shock value.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Was that also at the end? Is that Danny and you?
Yeah.
Where he's like naked or whatever's happening there?
Yeah, he's wearing the red cloak most of the time as well.
Okay, that's him. And what's the deal with the skeleton you're fucking at the end?
So we went to Jacob's house and it was sitting there on his couch, and I was like, let's bring the skeleton. Why don't we have the skeleton in there? And yeah, we just freestyled it. Yeah.
That's fantastic.